Tonight on Joynews, Prime National Disaster Management Organization in a state of hopelessness as more communities up north is taken over by floods, leaving over 700 residents displaced and large tracts of farmlands destroyed.
All of you see, the problem is the water is coming, spoiled the house. You see, everything is spoiled, even the animals. The water take us away. So we are begging for President, come and help us so that we're safe.
Tonight we're live on the ground as hopeless MCE joins affected residents to cry out for help.
We are in pain. Houses are falling down. We don't know what to do, but we know God will be. God is in control. We're trying to see how best we can support our brothers and sisters here.
One person dead and another in critical condition in an accident on the Kwando Highway.
One person, as we can see, has died, and the police and the ambulance are yet to convey the body to the morgue. And so
Meanwhile, it is now a national campaign. The National Road Safety Authority and the Multimedia Group has launched the Arrive Alive campaign to raise awareness on road safety and reduce carnages on our roads.
Let me thank the Multimedia Group and other media houses for their support. I hope that this is not going to be an annual wonder, but we continue to sustain it. Because many a time, you start here and check near giant.
We'll bring you more on this and tell you how you can help to save lives. Also in this bulletin, chiefs of the 4 traditional area demand the release of persons they believe are not connected or involved in the recent attacks by the Volta region secessionists, including the Asafuache for the area.
This issue, government should look at it. Appeal to the government security. They should look at them, and then if they should release them, continue their investigation. Because I know Ghana security is very good in terms of investigation. So that is my message to government for now.
And in business,
government assures that the country's cyberspace is secure for investors amid high cases of cyber fraud.
Businesses should not shy away from coming to Ghana. I believe our internet space is quite safe.
And later in this bulletin, teachers and contestants of Presec Legon say they have started celebrating in anticipation of their 6th National Science and Maths Quiz Trophy after qualifying to the quarterfinals.
A few minutes. We are going to beat those boys over there. Fight all the boys' schools. We are tired of the boys' schools always getting the champions.
My name is Aisha Ibrahim. Joynews Prime comes to you live from our studios in Accra, Kokomlemle, terrestrial TV, because we are free to air on Go TV channel 144 and DSTV channel 421. Many thanks for choosing us. One person has died in an accident involving an Opel taxi cab after the tires of the car burst whilst in motion. The driver, who is reported to have been driving on top speed, could not apply the brakes, veering off the road. The accident happened on the Hohoi Jasikan section of the Eastern Corridor Road around 3 p.m. Thursday evening. The taxi cab, which was from Kwando in the Volta region, was loaded with motorbike spare parts meant for distribution to customers around Jasikan and KJB. The owner of the goods died on the spot, while the driver has been rushed to the Jasikan District Hospital.
so you can see the screeching where the tire got burst, and then it moved on and on till it landed down there.
Amiru.
So this car just got involved in an accident on the Hallway Jessica Road, and that's the registration number. One person, as we can see, has died, and the police and the ambulance are yet to convey the body to the morgue. And so that is what has happened. I think just a few minutes ago, a few minutes past 3 p.m. here on the Eastern Corridor Road. I think the car is loaded with motor tricycle parts and tires, and so that's what we can see here now. Yeah, few things remain. We understand the driver has survived and has been rushed to the hospital, and so that is what has happened here on the Hallway Jessica Road. That's the infamous Eastern Corridor Road. We have not met any survivor yet, apart from the driver we are told that has been sent to the hospital. So what you can see, that's a pool of blood trickling into the gutter. What exactly caused the accident, we cannot tell. The police said they are only responding to emergency, so they don't know exactly what happened. And so it's a pretty sad situation here, and one person has just lost their life, a male, from that accident.
It's now official. The Arrive Alive campaign has taken a national dimension. The National Road Safety Authority and the Multimedia Group today launched the campaign as part of a national strategy to raise awareness on road safety and reduce carnages on our roads. The campaign was launched in the Western Regional Capital, Takoradi, where the Director General of the National Road Safety Authority, Engineer Meobri Yeboah, expressed worry over the increasing number of road crashes in recent times. There's more in the following report.
According to the Road Safety Authority, over 9,000 crashes and 1,585 deaths have been recorded from January to August this year alone. For Director General of the authority, Meobri Yeboah, this must be a wake-up call for strict adherence to road safety regulations.
Safety on our roads has become a key challenge in our country, though road traffic crashes and their resultant casualties are preventable. We are aware that these crashes have led to the current high incidences of fatalities and serious injuries, and that could have been avoided if caution had been exercised. So far, from January to August this year, we have recorded a total number of 9,205 crashes, resulting in 1,585 deaths, 1,638 pedestrian knockdowns, and 9,397 injuries involving 15,459 vehicles. Preliminary investigations into some of the crashes point out that non-compliance with road safety regulations on the part of road users is a major cause of these incidents.
Transport Minister Kweku Ofori-Siama lauded the Multimedia Group for championing the Arrive Alive campaign even before its launch. He called on other media houses to join the campaign and make it an integral part of their programming.
Launching this noble idea. Let me thank the Multimedia Group and other media houses for their support. I hope that this is not going to be another wonder, but we continue to sustain it. Because many a time, yesterday, and check near Jai, Abufi said, a woman, an accident, no, a cop, the accident, no call. So we need to continue to educate our people. That's exactly what we are going to do.
Joynews editor Israel Lai, delivering a speech on behalf of the Multimedia Group, said the company is ready to spur a constructive national conversation on the urgent need to save lives on our roads.
Unfortunately, road crashes are killing way too many of our people. Deaths that could be easily avoided if we follow the road safety guidelines, particularly driving within the speed limit, not driving under the influence of alcohol and other substances, and making sure our vehicles are roadworthy. That's why we at Multimedia have made our airways available to preach the road safety gospel far and wide. And that's why since January 16, 2020, after that tragic motor accident at Domfase in the central region, which killed over 30 people, we have been heavy on the Arrive Alive campaign. While at it, we are also urging passengers to speak up when the drivers who are manning the vehicles they board begin to act recklessly. As we expect that not everyone will play by the rules, the law must be enforced to serve as a deterrent, as happens in all societies. Let me, however, reiterate, multimedia, where I work, remains committed to the cause of keeping our roads safe so that we can all arrive alive.
Road crashes remain a leading cause of death in the country.
Chief of Takoradi Osahene Busumakura III added his voice to the campaign, admonishing commercial vehicle drivers especially to drive safely.
Drivers that have this in mind to make us more careful. I will say to you drivers, do not rush, no condemn random. Don't believe that this is the only time you can make it rush. It is a lie of the enemy. Brothers, friends, and drivers, I am much aware of the fact that you have to make ends meet. Present yourselves to your masters, buy fuel, and feed your family. But remember that your family prefers you alive and well. Your friends need you alive, and Ghana needs you most. Some of us think because we own cars, we are bosses. Please, if you're a boss, then use your car for private. You may be the first to own a car in your family, we are not the first to own a car in Ghana.
Joynews editor Israel Lai joins us via Zoom for more. Israel, a very successful launch today, but what direction will this campaign take now that we have the DVLA on board?
All right, so this is actually an initiative of the National Road Safety Authority together with the Multimedia Group, and we have already been involved in this. So since January, we have been putting out messages having to do with how why it is essential for people to observe the road traffic regulations and giving people tips on how they can go about it, and also talking to passengers and letting them know that it is important that if they're on a vehicle and it turns out that the driver is driving recklessly, it is important that they speak up and voice out. And to the rest of the population and the drivers, we're telling them why it is important that they ensure that their vehicles are roadworthy. They're checking them regularly to ensure that they are actually in good condition to be on the road. We keep sending out messages that if you feel tired, you don't have to stay on the road. Take a rest. So these are messages because ultimately it has to do with a behavioral change, and people need to change their attitudes.
Let me bring in David Adonting, who is with the National Road Safety Authority. David, thanks so much for your time. Now, very alarming figures. Have we set targets for ourselves as far as this campaign is concerned? Hello, David. You're on Joynews Prime. All right, so we'll try and get David Adonting, who is with the National Road Safety Authority. But Israel, what guidelines are there for road users as far as the Arrive Alive campaign is concerned?
Well, so it's just about the safety tips that we have been putting out over the period. And one essential one has to do with people driving within the speed limits, because a lot of the time people simply refuse to drive according to the speed limits. If you're driving in town, most people may probably not be aware, or they are aware and deciding that they're just simply going to refuse to comply with the speed limits. Because if you're driving in a city, for instance, you're not supposed to go beyond more than 50 kilometers per hour. But it is very clear that if you're out there on our roads, you see that people are just driving at, outrageous speeds, because it makes it difficult for you to bring the vehicle to a halt when there happens to be an incident or it requires that you stop. So it's the main message has to do with people driving within the speed limits, making sure that their vehicles are roadworthy. If you're tired, you should be off the road. You shouldn't be driving if you're drunk or you're under the influence of alcohol. So these are messages that we will continue to churn out and to push out to people, because ultimately we want to see that everybody in Ghana is able, or as much as possible, people can arrive at their destination safely when they get onto the roads. The roads shouldn't be killing fields.
Israelite is a Joynews editor. Many thanks for the update, Israelite. And it's all about hashtag Arrive Alive, Drive Alive, and arrive safely. Now to other stories. Tears of a desperate mother, breadwinner, a resident who has lost everything, including her home. It's been another day of pain and misery for some communities in the West Mamprusi area. They've been rendered homeless following heavy rains from Wednesday night into Thursday morning. Nearly 700 residents have been forced to evacuate after 2 local dams also collapsed.
The 2 dams burst separately at Dimia and Guabluga Thursday morning after overnight heavy downpour in the area. Several volumes of water inundated the communities, sparking a situation of chaos and panic among residents. They ran to salvage their properties, but not many were lucky. The situation also submerged the main Walewale-Nalerugu road, causing heavy traffic on the busy highway, with dozens of travelers and motorists stranded.
All of it, you see, the problem is the water is coming, spoiled the house. You see, everything is spoiled, even the animals. The water take us away. So we are begging for President, come and help us so that we safe.
More rains are yet to come. What does the future hold for the people who live in these communities? What is the plan for them? Well, Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia says government will continue with the construction of the Pualugu Dam, which will, among others, address the perennial flooding in those areas. Joynews is learning that 3 schools in the municipal capital are being used as temporary camps for the displaced residents. They will be supported with food and clothing. Here's MC for the area.
Though we are still in crisis, but camp has been brought back to the people. We are looking at how best we can support them this time around so that at least they can feel better. As of now, majority of them has been displaced. Some cannot even find a place. So we have identified 3 schools that we have constructed under the GET fund, which has about 18 classes to host them. We'll also be feeding them from today up to the day that we'll see how, up to the day that we think that things have now improved.
He also called for support from charity organizations and individuals.
We are still appealing to government and other philanthropists to come to the aid of the people of West Mamprusi. People abroad who are listening to us and they are from Mamprugu, so come back and support us. Some have even started calling to see how best they can support. Whilst we are doing that, we look at when the situation improves, we'll create a fund that we'll use to support the people.
Northeast Region correspondent Ilyasu Tanko joins us live from the camp of the residents. Ilyasu, bring us up to speed on the floods. Have the water receded?
Yes, the water has receded relatively, especially in the communities of Banawa and Garbine, where the situation was severe earlier in the morning. As we speak, some of the residents are very adamant. They have refused to leave their communities, and because also the water has receded, some of them are moving back to their damaged houses. As we speak, now the situation, there's no traffic on the main Nalerugu Nalerugu road. That's where the situation right now is, because the people there had to dig the road to allow the passage of the water. And as a result of that, several dozens of passengers are currently stranded and they are unable to move. But with regards to the water itself, is coming down rapidly in the communities that are affected earlier this morning.
Elias, so tell us about the camp that has been provided for the displaced residents.
Well, the MC indicated that they have put up camps in about 3 schools in the municipal capital, Wale here. I have just visited one of the camps, one of the schools designated for these people to be kept, the Nazori Family School. And unfortunately, the school is still locked. When I went there, I saw that there's some activities. The school, the weed, it appears that they have weed around the school. But the school, as we speak, is still locked and key. There's no indication that these people will be camped in this particular facility. But we are told that there are several schools. There are about 2 schools currently, also in the municipal capital here. I have not been able to check, but I'm just getting information also that some of the people have been moved to a school belonging to the Northeast NDC, the Northeast Regional Women's Organizer of the NDC is having a school, and about 15 people are currently in this particular school. But the schools, at least one of the schools that the MCA mentioned that these people will be kept, I visited the school and I can tell you that the school is locked. Before I left the Panawa community.
Thankfully, the MCE for Wale Arimeo Somo Laki has joined us on phone. Sir, what's your assessment of the situation? Even before I go to that, why are the schools under lock and key, and where are the displaced residents?
Thank you so much for the opportunity. I want to use this opportunity to thank all those concerned so far as this disaster is concerned. I think a lot of people have shown mercy on us, and I have to use your medium to thank all of them. As we speak, the keys of the schools are with the NADMO director, and the buses to convey them are there. If the people are not there, you cannot open it. You open the school when people are not there. How will they enter? When you open and there's a problem, how will you resolve it? The problem now is that the people refuse to move to the schools that have been given to them. As we speak, I have provided supper for all those who have been displaced. Now some have been moved to Gardine, and the Gardine people have also been given a different school, that is at Diani, where we have a Ghana Gas school that we have completed and we're yet to commission. We have moved the people from Gardine to Diani, which is a suburb of Wale. Whilst those who are in Banawa, we wanted to bring to the school at Wale. Some of them refuse because they have their relatives in Wale, and they feel comfortable staying with their relatives than to be at the camp. Whilst others also want to be there because some of the houses are still there, and I don't want them to stay in those dilapidated houses. So we are still talking to them for them to agree. If you go to the site now, you see a lot of vehicles, especially buses there, ready to bus them and their belongings to the place. I also use this opportunity to thank all those who also supported, including political parties, the MPP and the NDC. They've all supported me in these trying times. I want to use this opportunity to thank them. As we speak this evening, some of them, the children that were sent to one of the NDC women organizers' place, have also been given food, and then they were talking about relocating them. But as I said, she's also a native of Wale, and she's ready to also accommodate them. I will feed them, she should accommodate them, and I will take care of their everything.
Are you considering using force to actually move these people to a safer place, considering the fact that if you leave them to their will, that there are dangers associated with that?
Using force will be a last option. I think we can still dialogue with them. They are our relatives. They are our brothers and sisters. We can't force them. They know. Some of them knows why we are moving them. Even some of the leadership of the communities, we're talking to them to agree or to understand to move. As we speak, the people of Gardine, they have agreed, and some of them have moved to the school that we have provided. This evening, I'm working with the NANMO to get them some blankets and then mosquito nets so that we can give to them. Fortunately, the schools that we have sent them have electricity that they can be comfortable with. So we are working on that. But we cannot use force as of now, because in this time, the period that they themselves
they have lost their properties and other things. When you add force to it, it is not going to help matters. We would still dialogue with them and find a lasting solution to that. Fortunately, the majority of them have relatives in Wale, and I have 100% hope and sure that before the midnight of today, they might have moved to the relative place if they don't want to be in our camp that we have provided for them.
I'm grateful for your time. Arimea Somolaki is DC for Westman Prusi, and he's been speaking on intervention. MCE, I beg your pardon, for Westman Prusi. He's been speaking about the interventions. Well, Joynews, led by the Super Morning Show, has started a campaign to mobilize support for our brothers and sisters affected by this. Host of the Super Morning Show, Kojo Yangsing, joins me live for more on this. Kojo, we started this campaign 2 weeks ago, but now more than ever, we see the need for help. Bring us up to speed on how this is going. Hello, Kojo. I think we lost Kojo over there. We'll try and bring Kojo back. Okay, Kojo is back on the line. Kojo, tell us how this campaign is going.
Thank you very much for the opportunity, Aisha. So far, the campaign is going very well. We've had lots and lots of people give in cash and in kind to help the people who are worst affected by these floods. We created a bank account with EcoBank. They gave us 50,000 Ghana cedis to start things off, and that was very, very well received. Now, what we've seen is that the people who are worst affected, there are certain very basic things that they need. In addition to food and shelter, they also need clothing. We spoke to a woman who hadn't changed her clothes in over a week. Somebody like that will certainly benefit from a kind person offering her some clothing. But most importantly, we want to be able to buy enough food and supplies for these people to be able to live wherever they are placed temporarily, for however long it takes to get them to a permanent residence. This is a humanitarian crisis which has very serious implications and will probably be a problem for a rather long time. And these people are going to need as much of our support as possible. So we have been calling on everyone to give from the bottom of their hearts, whether it's through our mobile money account or whether it's through the EcoBank account. Information which I'm sure you'll be putting at the bottom of your screen soon.
Great news so far, but what's the target, Kojo?
Well, I'll tell you a couple of targets we have. We have a time target and we have a quantity target. So the time target is that we want to be on the ground by Wednesday next week, helping those who need it the most. As for the quantity target, I've got to tell you, we want to get as much as possible. If we're able to get 200,000 Ghana cedis, it will buy quite a lot of supplies for at least a few communities, but it will be nowhere near enough. Nowhere near enough. We want to aim for far more than that so that we can help as many people as possible. Okay, there are about 55,000 people in the Northeast region alone who have been affected by this, and unfortunately 37,000 of them are children. So we are aiming for a lot more than just 200,000 Ghana cedis. We certainly need everybody to chip in.
And I'm quite sure a good number of well-meaning Ghanaians are willing to help. How do they do that, Kojo?
Well, it's very simple. I was hoping that you would actually have the mobile money account details to put up on your screen, because I would have to switch off my phone to get it, switch off the Zoom app to get it for you, which would not be ideal. So once you're done with me, I'm sure you'll be able to put the phone number for the mobile money account at the bottom of the screen. It's the easiest way for people to give. And whatever you give will make a big difference. It doesn't matter how little or how much.
And those who want to donate items.
A big difference.
And those who want to donate, I'm told the numbers are on your screens now. Those of you who want to help, you can send your money to this Momo number. But those who want to donate items, how do they do that?
Just bring them to Joy. We would love to see you, so please bring whatever items you want to give. Bring them to the reception of Joy FM. It will be received and logged and sent to those who need it the most.
Kojo Yangsing is host of the Super Morning Show, and nothing is too little. You can just contribute to your media's might and help our brothers and sisters up north. In business, government assures the country's digital space is secure for investors amid high cases of cyber fraud.
Businesses should not shy away from coming to Ghana. I believe our internet space is quite safe.
We'll bring you details in business shortly.
Hello, good evening. Time for business. Now, government has given the assurance that the country's digital ecospace is secure for business growth despite rising reported cases of cyber fraud. The assurance comes in the wake of an increased number in fraud cases, which is around 11,000 so far, according to the National Cybersecurity Center. In an interview with Joy Business after the launch of this year's Cybersecurity Awareness Month, Deputy Minister for Communications Alex Aban disclosed that government has put in place necessary measures to ensure that businesses are protected online. There is more in this report.
This year's Cybersecurity Awareness Month, under the theme Cybersecurity in the Era of COVID-19, will be used to embark on activities to create awareness of various cybersecurity concerns. Speaking on behalf of Communications Minister Eslo Usu-Kufo, the Deputy Minister Alex Aban noted that the growing trend of internet usage as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic has increased the threat of cybercrime, but Ghana as a country is making a lot of progress in protecting the cyberspace.
I believe that we are also prone to all the attacks and all the deficiencies, if I should put it that way, that the internet has all over the world. And all efforts are being made to make sure that we have a safer digital ecosystem in Ghana.
On his part, National Cybersecurity Advisor Dr. Albert Enchibuesiako revealed that the country has improved upon its online policies to ensure safety for users.
The National Cybersecurity Center has led the review of Ghana's national cybersecurity policy and strategy, bringing it in line with international benchmarks. Once implemented, this document will act as a framework for Ghana's cybersecurity development.
Research from the International Telecoms Union in 2019 indicates that more than 50% of the world's population is now online, whereas children constitute more than 30% of internet users. A Ben Sabotage report for Joy Business.
The European Union has justified Ghana's blacklisting for non-compliance with rules governing anti-money laundering. The country was earlier this year put on a list of countries with deficiencies in anti-money laundering and counter-terrorist financing frameworks. The enforcement is expected to take off from today with its associated scrutiny for firms transacting businesses with banks in Europe. Let's listen to the head of EU delegation, Diana Akoncha, on this one.
The status of the file is that indeed Ghana has been listed for a non-compliance with the international rules relating to money laundering, but I would like to specify that this listing from the European Union is a sort of an automatic consequence of the fact that Ghana has been listed by FATFA, which is an international body that ensures the global governance on this matter, and it is cooperates closely with the IMF. So the moment Ghana is going to be taken off the list of the FATFA, the European Union in the next year review is going to also take it off our list.
Dr. Dana Macaulay has commended the innovation of entrepreneurs amid COVID-19, saying it has been phenomenal. Speaking at the launch of the second edition of the Magdan Entrepreneurship Challenge in Accra, Dr. Macaulay explained that this new season of the challenge will be keen on innovation, positive attitude and enterprise.
COVID had brought the best, really brought the best out of entrepreneur. I mean, we all have to remodel our businesses. I mean, by remodeling your business, we were locked down for a very long time, unless you are not a very good entrepreneur. Imagine you are an entrepreneur, you've been locked down. No revenue coming in, no movement, nothing. It's an opportunity for an entrepreneur to think, to be innovative.
Beyond innovation and drive, what other metrics are you going to be using to measure the success of these candidates?
Well, it's about attitude. It's all about attitude and their determination and consistency and becoming successful people. There are many metrics, but with me, every successful man had to be disciplined and also put up the right attitude. What makes you successful is not really what you know. It's not really what you have learned, but it is about your attitude.
Well, the latest unique draw of the Wutrie, lottery has seen a technical school teacher, Samson Boti, emerge winner of the big jackpot of 242,000 cedis. There is more in this report.
Star 787 hash lottery has awarded 242,000 Ghana cedis to a technical school teacher, Samson Boti, as the 7th winner of that big jackpot. At the presentation of the check, Samson Boti, in an elated mood, had this to say.
Oh, this is a testimony, so they also see me speaking, and friends who are also in it, I didn't know they used to stick, but when they saw my name, Boti, Samson has won the 787 game, they started calling. That they saw my name. What happened? How did I manage to win? And I said, it's the same trying we all try. This is not any magic. It's the same thing. And that day, I think I even used only 10 Ghana cedis. And I emerged victorious. So, Ghanaians should continue to stick. They should continue, especially the people of Upper West. Once they are watching me, Bemo Mbare as a star 787 Lotto. Yeminga bena Lotto ngapo bibrika bemena dina.
Also, head of customer experience Richard Akoto Banfo urged the general public to take advantage of the Thursday and Saturday jackpots.
The big jackpot break of 242,000 Ghana cedis does not mean that's the end of Star 787 hash game. The game is still on. It's a new challenge for you with 100,000 Ghana cedis. Pick your phone now, dial star 787 hash to also participate. This Thursday, you stand a chance to win a 1,000 Ghana cedis with only 3 tickets. Remember, a ticket is only 5 Ghana cedis. This same ticket can equally win you 100,000 Ghana cedis this Saturday. It is your moment. Dial star 787 hash now to play. You could be next.
Nicholas Brown reporting for Joy Business.
Joynews Prime, it's time for sport, and we take you into our first story. Now, the 2020-2021 UEFA Champions League group stage draw is out. Now, Lionel Messi's Barcelona will meet Ronaldo's Juventus in Group G. Now, here are the 8 groups. So there in Group A, we've got Bayern Munich, Atletico Madrid, Red Bull Salzburg, and Lokomotiv Moscow. In Group B, it's Real Madrid, Shakhtar Donetsk, Inter Milan, and Borussia Mönchengladbach. In Group C, it's FC Porto, Manchester City, Olympiacos, and Olympique Marseille. In Group D, it's Liverpool, Ajax, Atalanta, and FC Midtjylland. Some more, and it's Sevilla, Chelsea, Kuban Krasnodar, and Stade Rennes. In Group F, it's Zenit St. Petersburg, Borussia Dortmund, Lazio, and Club Brugge. In Group G, it's Juventus, Barcelona, Dynamo Kiev, and Ferencváros. And of course, in Group H, it's Paris Saint-Germain, PSG, Manchester United, Leipzig, and of course, Istanbul, Başakşehir. All right, so let's now check out the outstanding performers for the 2019-2020 season. Now, Bayern Munich's Robert Lewandowski won the Player of the Year accolade, and here is a full list. So the best goalkeeper was Manuel Neuer. Joshua Kimmich was the best defender. Best midfielder was Kevin De Bruyne. And of course, the coach of the year was Bayern Munich's Hansi Flick. Of course, so away from the UEFA Champions League, boxing writer Eko Asma says the historic world title winning feat of the legendary DK Poison was inspired by Ghana's sporting rivalry with Nigeria. Now, Eko Asma, who is the author of the book A Celebration of Ghana's World Champions, says the fact that Nigeria had already gone ahead of Ghana to win world titles was great motivation for DK Poison. Nigeria's Hogan Bassey won the featherweight world title in 1957, while Ghana's DK Poison won it in 1975. Now, Eko Asma features in the upcoming Joy News Joy Sports Hotline documentary, which will be aired on Joy FM on October 5 at 8:45 a.m. and here on the Joy News channel and channel 421 on DSTV on Tuesday, October 6th at 6:30 p.m.
He even had to move base from Ghana to Australia, and he was, you know, the docking syndrome. He was docked, and then he came back frustrated. So once General Kuture Champong picked up that notion of Ghana being able to get past the British Empire, becoming world champions, and he was the project, it was huge. Of course, the state pumped in all kinds of resources, so it was incumbent upon him to make it happen. And so he said he was so confident, he almost became overconfident on that fight night. And there were some Ghanaians arranged in the States for his camp who were coming around to, you know, give him morale, and he was aware they would be present in the camp on the fight night ringside. So his mentality was Nigeria had already gone ahead of Ghana, produced a world champion. He thought Ghana and Nigeria are West African brothers. They've attained it, we can also do it. And he did it.
Well, let's do some golf now. And all roads lead to the Nambang Golf Course on November 25 as the 7th edition of the Goldfields PGA Tour comes off. Now, here's a report by Joy Sports' Asari Bediako.
30 golfers drawn from various golf clubs in Ghana and 2 Ghanaians who played in the United Kingdom qualifiers will be competing for the coveted title in the 7th edition of the Goldfields PGA Championship. For the first time since the tournament began in 2014, golfers competed in qualifiers due to limited slots available. The qualifiers, which came off between September 14 and 24, attracted over 58 professional golfers across the country. The winning cash prize is 40,000 Ghana cedis for regulars and 9,000 Ghana cedis for seniors, same as last year's tournament. The total cash prize to be awarded is 167,000 Ghana cedis. This year's Goldfields PGA Championship will not be held with the usual fanfare due to the COVID-19 pandemic. However, Alfred Bako, Executive Vice President and Head of Goldfields West Africa, has assured participants of their safety during the tournament.
Goldfields, you know, we've got 2 operations, one at Tako, one at Daman, where we are going to have the tournament. What we've done is, as part of our measures, we have what we call the isolation centers at both operations. So if someone is positive, we've got this isolation center that we can isolate this individual quickly. We've also got our medical staff that will attend to this individual. So that is all organized and in place. I must commend the organizers. They've done a yeoman's job, because at the beginning of the year, when we went into the COVID, I was wondering in my head myself whether we were going to be able to actually organize this year's tournament. So for the organizers to still, with COVID around, with all the measures we have, all the protocols we have, to still come up with an arrangement for us to still host this tournament, they deserve a huge commendation.
So we'll be updating you as we go along. You stay right here. There's more to come here on Joynews Prime. My name is Nathaniel Atto, and I have love for sport.
And it's time now for Showbiz. Becky is here with the very latest. Hi, Becky.
Hello to you, Aisha. How you doing?
I'm good.
Today, let's talk about the movie industry. Majid Michelle has been talking. You know, Majid, it's been a very long time. So we caught up with Majid just recently, and we spoke to him about the movie industry, Aisha, and Majid says that a lot of people are saying that the movie industry is dead, or we don't have a movie industry because a lot of people or a lot of actors are not acting anymore. They're not doing production anymore. And they're sitting down and they're saying that, oh, let's just go and buy, go to the government or asking government for money. Majid said it doesn't have to be like that. Just be creative.
We need to show it's creativity. We don't, it's not a lack of resources, it's a lack of creativity. Creativity attracts resources. But here we are saying we have to go to the government, we have to get money here. No, who does that? We never did that. Before we boomed our industry in Ghana, no government official gave us money. We had businessmen who were ready to risk and make good stories. Then we called it an industry. The reason we say we don't have an industry is because we stopped shooting.
Majid, are you saying there are no talent now, or there are not creative people now to be able to bring out good products for people to want to invest in?
I said we have stopped filming. We have stopped making movies. We are the most talented in Africa. We have the best stories. But what I'm saying is a lack of creativity does not attract resources. But we have majority of the people saying that we need to go and find money before we can make the film. That is a lie.
Don't you need enough money to make a good film?
Yes, no, not to make a good film. Yes, you do need money. But I'm saying when the internet came in place, everything shut down because we were not internet savvy at the time to cope with how technology was moving. So it stopped and paused everybody. When the DSTVs started showing our films and the Irokos started showing the films, then now everything became digital. Now we were not too abreast. That was lack of creativity.
It's quite refreshing hearing from Majid Michel. It's been a while, and since he entered into the preaching business and evangelism, it's good to, and he's speaking the truth.
Yeah, essentially, make movies, don't sleep and say that because government is not giving you money,
once
you can't make.
You're being creative, then you can ask people to get on board.
Exactly. But Aisha, let's move away from Majid. Let's talk about Keche. You know, they have a new song featuring Kwame Yuji called No Darling. And they've been speaking to my colleague Ibrahim Bembako. And Keche is saying that this particular song has made them, you know, has sort of rebranded them. Okay. You know, not that they're not in the minds of the people, but this song, they can't get enough of the song. No, darling.
And it's true. It's actually true because, for a while, people were not hearing about Keche, but this music has really, really
put them on the back. Ghanaian map.
Anyway, so that's it for Showbiz?
I think, we have time.
Something on Master KG. And
tomorrow, because tomorrow is Friday, Aisha, let's do the Master KG
tomorrow. I can't wait for that one. But thank you so much for bringing us Showbiz. And for those of you watching on Joy Prime, that'll be it. The news continues on Joynews. The chiefs of the Dofo traditional area are demanding the release of persons they believe are not connected or involved in the recent attacks by the Volta region secessionists. The recent disturbances in the area resulted in the death of 2 of their sons and the arrest of about 30 young men, including the Safuache of the traditional area. Addressing the media at Joapon, Manklalo of the Dofo traditional area, Togbe Awonkla, the 6th, insisted residents have nothing to do with the said group, even though some of them have been sent letters by leaders of the Western Togoland to join them on their agenda.
You know, somebody like our Asafoche, Gilbert Nyajino, and my own son, Caleb Achinyalo, and one, my message to the government is that although everybody here is a citizen of Ghana and we own our allegiance to Ghana, let me say this, you see, from my youthful age, unless you don't go to school in Ghana, you put your hand on your chest and recite national pledge all the time. From youthful age, before you become a citizen of this country, unless you didn't attend school in Ghana. So, as I'm speaking as a Ghanaian and represent the interests of Ghana. So my message to government is that those people they have arrested, those are our citizens, which we know they are not part of the security group. We plead with them. We cannot frustrate their work. This is a security intelligence issue. We are not trying to block or model in government's action in order to stop this incursion, this separatist group. No, that is not our position at all. But we pleading that they should intensify their security intelligence on the ground to really apprehend those people who are directly or indirectly involved. This is my message. But some of our children who have no clue about this issue, government should look at it. I appeal to the government security, they should look at them, and then if they should release them, continue their investigation. Because I know Ghana security is very good in terms of investigation. So that is my message to government for now. Okay.
The chiefs are also asking for the deployment of more security personnel to forestall further attacks.
On the other hand, that's why we appeal to security agents that to beef up their security intelligence on the ground in order to apprehend anybody who trying to orchestrate the same act again. Because right now we are not happy in Japan. We are not safe. We are being disturbed, and some of our youth and children are now in police custody, suffering, which we know very well they are not associated with this thing.
Former President Mahama has been speaking today on TV XYZ. He says that the Akufo-Addo-led administration has not tackled the voter secession issues seriously. Speaking in an interview today, the former president explained government's failure to assign an official to the area to ascertain the truth in the matter is in bad taste.
Because I've been commander-in-chief before, and I've worked with these same security services, and I know that intelligence is very key and that they are good at gathering intelligence. This Homeland Study thing was there when I was president, and yet we had people who infiltrated them, and we knew at every stage, what they were up to. But they were doing seminars and press conferences and things, Now they are becoming a bit more, bold, and the president must be taking bold action. We saw some of the videos. I saw one video where there were soldiers escorting a car. There was a car in the middle, and these boys holding the flag were right in front of them. And I said, but why are they escorting this vehicle instead of arresting these guys holding the flag? Because if you arrest them, then you're going to be able to get some more intel on what their operations are. It looks like the whole government is not serious about this. The president himself is not serious about it. No senior person has gone to the area anyway since this thing happened. The Minister of National Security, when this thing was very topical and had become an issue, he should have gone to the area to boost the morale of the security services there. Instead, he was in Kumasi with the president, commissioning a compost plant. What does Minister of National Security have to be in Kumasi with the president for? On a compost plant, instead of going where people are trying to see the part of your territory. There's nothing more serious than trying to break up parts of a country. And that's what I'm saying, they are not taking this seriously.
He also charged the government to address rumors that secessionist groups will be brought into the country to cause disruption in the upcoming elections in the Volta region.
Is what is fueling those rumors, because the impunity with which these people are doing this thing, I mean, if the government was really serious, I don't think that they'll be able to have a field day like they're having. And so the rumor around is that this is a dress rehearsal. They will do a few more of these attacks and all that, and that the real thing is for election day. Election day, they will bring these Western Togolanders that the government controls to come and disrupt, things in the Volta region, and they'll blame it on secessionists. That's the rumor going around. And if the president is listening, I'm telling him that's the rumor going around, because he's not showing any seriousness with the Western Togoland issue. It didn't start now. When they were training in military fatigues and all that, this is the first time the president is talking about this secessionist issue. Something that is so fundamental to your being president, because as president, you're the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, and the armed forces are responsible for maintaining the territorial integrity of Ghana. And so you are directly responsible for the territorial integrity of Ghana. This whole Western Togoland thing has been going on and on from all that time. This is the first time the president is making any comment about it. And I mean, we're not seeing any seriousness, with his security services in terms of intelligence gathering, in terms of preemptive, action to stop them from doing this.
A minority in Parliament has served notice the future NDC government will cancel the contract for COVID-19 testing at the Kotoka International Airport after government defended deal as a clean one. The minority describes the contract as an unconscionable, corrupt and a cruel self-enriching scheme for elements in the Akufo-Addo administration. At a media briefing in Parliament today, minority spokesperson on health, Kwabena Minta-Akando, claimed a number of people have been detained at the airport for their inability to pay the $150 charge.
instead of the government led by President Akufo-Addo seeking the welfare of passengers at Kotoka International Airport by ensuring that the tests at Kotoka International Airport are affordable to all persons, they have rather used this as a business venture forum by draining passengers of their limited resources. People have gone through difficult experiences due to COVID-19 and have even lost their sources of livelihood. What they need is our compassion, comfort, and help, but not to be subjected to financial extortion or in the name of COVID-19 testing. Ladies and gentlemen, the minority demands an immediate suspension of the agreement and a full-scale investigation into this unconscionable, corrupt, and cruel self-enriching scheme so that all those behind this stinking plot can be brought to justice. We therefore serve notice that if nothing is done, the next NDC government from January 7, 2021 will not only abrogate the contract, but also go after all those who have conspired to perpetrate this grand scheme of wicked extortion on the good people of Ghana.
And on your election headquarters, long winding queues formed at registration centers in Kumasi as the Electoral Commission opened its special limited voter registration exercise today. Majority of the people were teenagers who claimed to have turned 18 after the main exercise. Nanaya Ojima monitored the one-day exercise in Kumasi and has filed this report.
Oforikrom, Inshaeso, Bantama, among other constituencies in the Kumasi metropolis, had their registration centers pitched at the regional office of the commission. Not even the intermittent rains could deter applicants from registering today. Though some of the people queued here just turned 18, many who are queuing here have diverse reasons why they did not register in the main event.
I've been here for about 2 to 3 hours. 2 to 3 hours. And there is no movement here. I don't know what is going on. There are no signs that these people are to be here, that these people are to be here and more. But all I see is people gathering over here and talking. I don't know.
The line is not moving. It's like I knew frustration was what I was going to face when it comes to registration like this. So I knew this is what I'll be facing. So it's cool. But the first time the main... Yes. I heard of it. I knew it. I had so many opportunities. It was like I was quite busy with my work then. So I knew that I would also have a second chance or another opening to actually register. But
initially in my time and but I never said there are some clues here. I'm sorry, my America cried away. This is my first time I'm using it. So now I say we do any buy me banana be. Oh, actually, I did 3 hours. 3 hours. Oh, that about my line in the
COVID-19 protocols strictly observed in the main exercise seem to have been relaxed. Social distancing protocol was hard to enforce even though applicants wore nose masks. Hand sanitizers were used as replacement for running water for hand washing. The commission says it has made arrangements for the people who are waiting in the queues.
What we have done here is our areas where they are being oversubscribed. We have increased the number of kits from 1 to 2 and 3 so that they can take on board the number that is available. If after 6 o'clock when we are about to close, there are people there who could not be captured, we have put a system in place. We shall issue to them numbers, print numbers and issue to them so that tomorrow when they come, we will then register them. But anyone who is not here today and will come tomorrow without a number, that means the number has not been issued to you today, you will not be catered for because the exercise is one day.
Nanaya Ojima reporting.
The new job in South Constituency in the Eastern region, it is sited in the heart of Koforidua, the capital of that region. But residents say members of parliament over the years have failed to create jobs for the youth. Now they have the option of choosing between fresh candidates in the upcoming polls, and the job creation strategy will be the deciding factor. Kwesi Parker Wilson visited the area and has come through with this report.
Michael Ochirbefi is the NPP's parliamentary candidate for New Job in South Constituency and the Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Free Zones Board. In this constituency, the NDC will be represented by Martin Otuofe, a lecturer at the Koforidua Technical University. On December 7, residents of New Job in South will have to choose between these two, among others, to represent them in Parliament for the next 4 years. Speaking to residents, one major problem stands out: limited job opportunities for the youth.
Youth ne wan ye nya adwuma nye so adwuma bie ni ha o man mu eden SMP we oba na nko betima ma ye adwuma at least obia benya ne nsa no kakra bia ko ne nsa kra e no mama we oba ye hu ni obeye ma ye kufodu ya so de adwuma papa bie ni ha ti ko beba na ke bia service adwuma e bi kra ye nkitinkiti fire service police service duma ka create kura yen sabe ko ya no kura at least e no mama yen ko se bre pa
mi say no baby a mi du ya e wo school semu sanke nyanse no duma bi se bi obi ensa no duma na yen a ye ne jinsa no duma mi say enye duma me ye nkwa mi estebenda ana ma sa be dwe ne organize duma me ye ndi me ye so say me nya me se so ono so pe ensa no duma sa the MP be adwuma sa na say ofa nkofo a yen se be boae dwuma de bi no system because to hwe fi ha no ma akwa aje se bia we ka se bia na de ma bia store na me nyo bi ntna no ma nkasa me busy ene no so enye no ma anye de bia sa on ba ko pe ndi se adwuma bie ni e ba so de a e be boae
ye problem ye wo ha ni say adwuma ni wo ya any public toilet ye ni eyi baby ase ye bola kwa ye digu ye bola ye sto echi ni digu ye nto ade adwuma ni ha yo problem ye sole a ade echi a council fo municipal fo ye sika niam bebre no mo gigi adwuma ne nye emwa ye pese adwuma ba Koforidua kurom ti se Koforidua ye pe adwuma titire tuturu e be boa me ye nya bi se do mo so ye adwuma no me nya bi de abeto ade me ye so ye nya sika ni bi.
Both candidates are optimistic. Michael Befi says even though he is not a parliamentarian yet, he has facilitated the employment of most of the youth in the area. He promises to champion the welfare of his constituents it voted for on December 7.
President Akufo-Addo says he has fulfilled about 80% of his campaign promises to the people of Ghana. Accordingly, he is appealing to the people of Ghana to renew his mandate and give him 4 more years to do more for Ghana. President Akufo-Addo has been inspecting some ongoing road construction, school projects, and have been cutting sod as part of his working visits in the eastern region. Addressing the chiefs and people of Etiwa East, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo asked the people of the area to give him 4 more years to do more.
And then I'm just what me can say, Miss CM to Abuana Emma Mibio. What shall I say, Mono? Dudwana Mediso. Maumiano account is over 80% of our manifesto promises. Ediso. It's about the buy and Mamma will be no credit I never catch a Ghana for. So they met me, until I can't say, you say. Did say, a Juma baby, what shall I make this one? Nanano say I am far. Me samo 4 more for Nanano and yet minim. The can report to me casa no say. You saw my Mariah the attitude of my and Mamma Quine and share party t-shirt and it jersey. So Nanano Sabi when you move about a Muslim to be. And she acquire a 2 about me, you know. Some more have a new number.
The The chiefs and people of Bibianiha and adjoining communities in the Doma Central Municipality of the Bono region have installed John Mahama as Nkosohene as development chief Wednesday night. The former president and NDC flag bearer for the December 7 election has this tool name Osahene Dr. John Mahama with all traditional rites performed. According to Nana Nkumsa Edinkra, chief of Bibianiha, the decision to install John Mahama as a development chief is due to the many developments they saw under his leadership. He was speaking ahead of the installment at Udeba in Bibianiha. John Mahama, in appreciating the honor done him, assured the chiefs and people of more development, including a tomato processing factory, if they elect him as president again. On his part, General Secretary of the NDC, Asiedun Ketia, said the bias system run by the NDC NPP government is a threat to the peace of the country. He says if elected, they will work towards fairness in the judicial system. And as the world gets smarter, there's an increased dependence on electronic gadgets, which, as experts advise, can best be contained by investing in solar power and adopting an attitude of energy conservation. It also means more demand for electricity. This trend, while installations for solar power are expensive, busy schedules of fatigued power consumers prevent them from sticking to patterns of energy conservation. But imagine being able to tell your appliances which particular time in the day to go off without having to touch them. Well, for Tech Thursday, we'll tell you how 21-year-old twins Trisha and Patricia are using their SafeTech appliance protector, which has an inbuilt timer function to bring this imagination to life.
2015, there used to be load shedding, so they used to give us a schedule when the lights are going to go off and when the lights are going to come on. So sometimes the power fluctuations or how the power just comes in, it used to affect my appliances, even with appliance protectors on them. So what I used to do is that I had to always be on top of my game. I always check the time and make sure that all the appliances are off before that time, and then make sure that I also put it back on, because sometimes I will forget. So it was a very hectic situation.
Meet Trisha and Patricia, the 21-year-old twins who converted their frustration from the vicious power crisis in 2014 into an idea that will soon be known as perhaps one of the most viable options in managing the growing demand for electricity in Ghana, SafeTech. Patricia Dake, who is the older twin, tells me what started as an attempt to deal with the impact of the infamous Doomsday situation has birthed an appliance protector which comes with a time programming feature that allows users to schedule when they want their gadgets on or off.
The device has a high-tech software that's able to give you the opportunity to put your own program on it, and it will execute that program automatically with no worries, no stress. Monday to Sunday, you can set it on Monday only, Tuesday only, you get the idea, or only weekdays or only weekends, or you can set it throughout the whole week. What I always tell my clients is that you have to analyze your day. Okay, so everyone is going to end up sleeping, let's say latest 12, and there's no one really going to be waking up to open the fridge at 2 a.m. unless you're a special case. So we always tell them that if you're not using it, it should be conserved. You should put it off.
With a massive capacity of 13 amps, SafeTech can accommodate up to 2 gadgets simultaneously. Trisha Dake, who is the co-founder of their distribution company Trisha Patricia Limited, describes how the inbuilt sensor allows it to detect power fluctuations and break the flow of current into the appliances.
That's also something. And then the LED lights, we have the red, we have the green. They indicate whether the power is good or the power is bad. And we have the 90-second period where when your light goes off and then the power comes back on, the device would analyze the power to see whether it's good enough to come in contact with your appliance. There's 16 slots. So some people just want easy Monday to Sunday. Some, like, so we have one client that really that actually utilized the whole 16 programs for his pool pump, and his water water heater.
Ghana has about 4,000 megawatts of installed generation capacity, with the actual availability rarely exceeding 2,400 megawatts. This is not only due to the changing hydrological conditions and inadequate fuel supplies, but also because of the absence of an energy conservation attitude. Well, with one SafeTech in the over 6.6 million household units in Ghana, the demand on the national grid can be cut by up to 25%.
For a country like Ghana, we have issues with our power, and we need to be able to conserve electricity efficiently. Some people don't even have the energy or time to be waking up or sleeping late to be able to do that, switching off appliances, switching them back on. So our appliance is able to do that for you effectively, automatically, without you stressing about it. So that's how we're solving the issue. You're conserving electricity, you're also being efficient with the electricity too, and your time. And then plus it's protecting your appliance. I mean, it's a win-win.
Live on Joynews Prime, we take a break. There is more in business when we return.
Hello once again, it's time for business. I'm Charles Aite. The Association of Advertisers of Ghana have been mourned the near collapse of the industry as the sector has been one of the hardest hit by COVID-19. President of the association, Mensa Togbo, disclosed this at the association's 29th annual general meeting. There is more in this report.
The Advertising Association of Ghana said the industry almost came to a standstill during the COVID-19 pandemic. According to Mr. Mensah, agencies have had to streamline their budget and that affected their cash flows. The association also expressed worry about the absence of the bill, which it described as breeding unregulated and unprofessional activities in the advertising sector.
In the industry, in our industry, advertising, when there's a problem, the first thing every company does is to cut the marketing budget. In January, people had good budgets. Then all of a sudden, by February, COVID-19 came in. I don't know anybody here who didn't suffer. We all suffered. Budgets were cut, some 80%, least was 40%, but most 80-60%. But the company didn't even know that they're going to continue to work. Therefore, our industry was at the edge of total collapse.
Nicholas Brown reporting for Joy Business.
Now, the Bank of Ghana is warning customers and the general public to be wary of online trading of the Ghana cedi notes and coins currently in circulation. According to the central bank, it is the only institution with the right to issue and redeem Ghana cedi notes and coins in the country, according to Article 183, Clause 1 of the 1992 Constitution. There is more in this report.
According to the central bank, it is the only institution with the right to issue and redeem Ghana cedi notes and coins in the country. This is according to Article 183, Section 1 of the 1992 Constitution and to Section 35 of the Bank of Ghana Act 2002, Act 612. The regulator is also cautioning persons engaged in the activity of selling online or otherwise Ghana cedi notes or coins currently in circulation, adding they must desist from doing so immediately. The central bank further advised any person who buys, sells, offers or attempts to buy or sell any Ghana cedi note or coin at a lower rate than its face value commits an offense. The culprit would be liable upon summary of conviction to a term of imprisonment not exceeding 10 years or fine not exceeding 2,000 penalty units or both. It, however, said the notice is not applicable to persons who engage in money exchange for the purpose of making some denominations available to others who need them. It advised the general public to take note and be guided accordingly. It will be recalled that the central bank gave a similar warning against transacting of business with defunct Men's Gold Limited, in which many people have today lost their investments.
Now, civil society groups in the Upper East region are calling on government to solidify its Planting for Food and Jobs initiative. According to them, the expansion of this initiative beyond the crop season could aid in making their business much more of a profitable venture. There is more in this report.
The Upper East Civil Society Organizations in Agriculture platform recently organized a stakeholders forum in Bolgatanga to deliberate on the role of agro-input dealers in the delivery of government's Planting for Food and Jobs program in the Upper East region.
Some of the input dealers have raised concerns like fertilizers being smuggled out.
At the end of the forum, the Upper East Civil Society Organizations in Agriculture platform issued a communique demanding, among other things, that government extends the Planting for Food and Jobs program to include dry season production. They say the program is presently focused on rainy season production alone.
There is a need to extend the Planting for Food and Jobs program to include dry season production in a bid to promote dry season agriculture as a contributor to food and nutrition security and poverty alleviation in the region and Ghana as a whole.
They also want the Department of Food and Agriculture to consider close collaboration with the Ghana Agro-Input Dealers Association in the registration of credible input dealers to minimize smuggling of these inputs. Upper East Regional Officer in charge of the Planting for Food and Jobs program, Joshua Diedong, said government was doing more to expand the program. He said every Ghanaian citizen needs to be vigilant and support the government for the policy to succeed. For Joynews, Albert Sori, reporting from Bolgatanga.
Now, the state-of-the-art Boeing 787 Dreamliner of Qatar Airways has officially commenced 4 weekly flights to Accra, Ghana via Lagos, making it the 4th destination to be launched in Africa by the national carrier of the state of Qatar. Here is more in our quick take for today.
We're looking at this as an indication of competition. We've had many airlines flying in and out of Ghana for a long time. We have not been particularly happy about the high cost of flying in the sub-region and the lack of connectivity. I think Qatar is coming in to let us know that with the growth of aviation, particularly based on the vision of His Excellency the President.
And that's how we wrap up on business.
Welcome back to Joynews. Prime now to the rest of our stories. Teachers and contestants of Presec Legon say they have started celebrating in anticipation of their 6th National Science and Maths Quiz Trophy. Presec Legon missed out on the trophy in 2019 by just 5 points after their much publicized Let's Talk About 6 campaign. This year, it's hashtag Let's Celebrate 6. PSN and I Safo has more.
The clash between NSMQ Powerhouse, Presbyterian Boys Secondary School Legon, Agri Memorial SHS, a school that didn't qualify for NSMQ 2019, yet showed promise this year, and Sunyane SHS, one of the best schools from the Bono Zone. Despite the efforts of all 3 schools, the contest ended this way.
Have won the contest, and so you have qualified for the quarterfinal. It's normal competition. I wish you the best as you progress, and you are looking for your 6th trophy. And I'm hoping your score is high enough to win to the SLT.
Presec Legon dominated all rounds, but settled for a poor 1/10 score during the Problem of the Day challenge. In the end, they accumulated 59 points, but for Sunyane SHS, the contest was a launchpad for more compelling performances in the year ahead.
We were the best in our region, but now we have seen that someone is better than us. I would say that if we have lost, it doesn't mean it is the end of our journey. I hope that my juniors, they form to be able to build up a strong team, and next year when they came here, they able to do something better.
But Agri Memorial SHS did not take the defeat well. It ended in tears.
Maybe we didn't do as we expected because we probably didn't prepare too well, or maybe today was just not our day. But I think that on the whole, it was okay, and Presec deserved their win.
But they swore vengeance on Presec Legon and all other boys' schools in the country next year.
We see a stronger Agri Memorial team next year.
Yeah, definitely. And we are going to beat those boys over there.
Just so we get it clearly, by boys, you mean you beat Presec next year?
In fact, all the boys' schools. We are tired of the boys' schools always getting the champions. And mixed school has to get, Agri has to get it. So next year, we'll make sure that the team comes stronger.
The winning school expressed excitement, yet revealed to Joynews that the victory was part of a new campaign for the trophy this year.
Persek, you made lots of noise last year. Let's talk about 6 agenda. What's the agenda this year?
Let's celebrate 6. Let's celebrate 6.
Pardon?
Let's celebrate 6.
Let's celebrate 6.
Yes.
And what's the strategy we are using?
God's grace. It's just God's grace that is going to take us there. But we are anticipating the best from every school. So we are not taking any chances, no complacency. We are just putting in our best. We really learned a lot. We saw that like the other schools, even though they are less endowed, they showed us that they are also good. They are also good, yes. We would like to ask everyone to continue supporting us, the other dear fraternity, everyone involved, just believe in us and continue supporting us in prayers.
The quiz now progresses into the quarter-final stage, where 27 seeded schools will vie for the semi-finals. Holy Child School, Wesley Girls High School, and Opokowari School will be the first to clash in the stage on Friday, 2nd October 2020. Only time will tell how the Dadye boys fare. PSC Nanayo Safo, Joynews.
And on that note, we wrap up Joynews Prime tonight. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. Many thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of our programs.